Welcome to Esoteric Discussions, a show that gives a voice to the hidden and unspoken aspects of our world, tackling topics in the realms of the metaphysical, the esoteric, the political, and social. So now join me, your host, Valentine St. Aubyn, as I take you on a journey of exploration. Good evening and welcome to the show with me, your host. I'm Valentine St. Aubyn, and this is a special Esoteric Discussions as I present to you some interviews I collected when I was at the Mind, Body and Soul event here in Peterborough at the Showground on the 21st and 22nd of September. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking this evening. I'm going to let others do the talking because I do have a nice collection of individuals who gave me some time and talked about the work that they do. But if you've never been to a Mind and Body event, this will give you a taster as to what it's like. My first guest were two young women by the name of Leanne and Bianca, and they represent a product called Aubyn, and I'll let them take it away. I'm surrounded by two lovely ladies. Would you like to introduce yourselves for me, please?
I'm Bianca. And I'm Leanne.
And you guys are here today, and there's two different things going on at the store. Would you like to tell me, Bianca, one of the things that you're offering, and then I'll have your colleague tell the other side of things.
Okay. So what we're offering, one of the things that we're offering here today is our Aubyn skincare range. We're a Swiss formulated brand which has been FDA approved, and also they don't use any mineral oils in our products, which was actually banned in Switzerland from all cosmetic products. So how they source our products, the ingredients which we use are from the best possible sources possible to give a lovely feeling, a natural feeling on the skin. We cater for babies to help with eczema, we cater for men, mature skins. The range is endless, but it's absolutely beautiful to use, it really is.
It's interesting what you just said, that in the Swiss banned certain minerals, it kind of goes against what we think minerals are, like they should be good for us. Any reason why they went ahead and made that kind of that ban?
Yes, basically they banned it because they're bad for you. And obviously the man behind Aubyn realised and wanted to research that and wanted to know that 32 years ago why Switzerland had banned mineral-based products. And obviously that's how Aubyn come about with all the Vitonical products mineral-free.
It's really an interesting argument because, in so many of the cosmetics, it's like mineral-based and it's supposed to be all wonderful and pure for you. But as, obviously we're learning today, there's different kinds of products here today and they all have a natural base, and they're all saying the same thing, that a lot of these cosmetics and things, we don't really know what's exactly going on.
If you read the history about, obviously, where Aubyn come from, they've been going for 32 years. If you read about, obviously, how in depth they go into researching the products and the scientific research that they do and how they formulate the products, then you would appreciate obviously where this brand is coming from and what it has to offer. Then when you try it on the skin, you will also be able to see that or feel that for yourself.
You guys, you sell this product on behalf of Aubyn. Do you get lots of good feedback from clients and things? Are they happy with the product?
Absolutely. We get a lot of feedback and lots of people were happy. Just before, when you were waiting to speak to us, the lady's been using the product for 2 years and she's absolutely ecstatic by it. The results are immense. It's all to do with the ingredients, the purity of the ingredients,
and obviously you get results because they're active. And I've just seen people here that haven't seen me for 3 months, and they're saying how amazing I look, and I'm thinking, well...
No, you do have very radiant skin. Yeah, both of you. Yeah, you can see it, yes.
I wash with it, I use it, and I love it. I'm passionate about it.
And the lovely thing about it, I mean, it's all your general day-to-day stuff which you use, from shampoos, conditioners, toothpaste, so there's no fluoride in the toothpaste.
Well, that's another one, isn't it? Yes, fluoride, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, it's not as if you went on to use Aubyn, you would just be replacing your normal shower gel, shampoos, conditioners and toothpaste. So, it's not just for skincare or body care or babies. They do cater for everyone.
It's a lifestyle choice, isn't it? I guess that's the best way to explain it. And it's up to you what you want to put in your body and what you don't. Now, there's also another little sign I see, energy cleansing. Who wants to tell me about that one?
The energy cleansing is basically cleansing your home or office of any negativity, energies, which there's energy everywhere. We vibrate energy, and basically it's for fresh beginnings or new projects. It's amazing what bad, negative energy can do, the effects that it can do to homes, offices. And basically what we do is give a service. We harmonise the environment, and we obviously put positive energy back.
Lovely. And how did you get into that?
I got into it many years ago, and I'm quite intuitive, and I find that there's a significant circumstances that have sort of arisen, that there's certain homes or buildings that you have this drastic effect that people won't stay in a particular property or a particular business. Every business that goes in a building will fail, or a certain house will have divorce, or a certain house will have illnesses after illnesses, and whoever goes into that building, they seem to have the same effect. And then you've got the homes with the good energies, and they thrive, and the buildings that thrive. So obviously there was an experience that I had with a friend who moved into a property, and basically her son became ill within months that she moved in, and it was all to do, at the end of it, to cut a long story short because I don't want to go into the details of it, but basically it was all to do with the energies. So that opened my eyes, because I saw the effects that when we sought the experts, and that's all to do with dowsing and black energy lines. I started practicing and reading, and my mentors that are with me all the time, and sort of learning, and like I say, it's intuitive, and I sort of done friends and family, and they're ringing me up saying that really works. I don't know what you've done, this has worked. So I know I can do it. So I thought, well, now's the time. Let's, helping, and I love helping, and it's about healing. So that's why I'm doing it.
And are you getting lots of clients now who are maybe coming to you from word of mouth from friends and things?
Yes. Like I say, people have seen results, so it's all word of mouth.
And where are you based?
I'm based in Yaxley.
Okay, so you would definitely be able to go around in the Peterborough area. Do you travel outside of, Cambridgeshire? How far would you be willing to go?
We'd go in the 25, 35 mile radius, but we can do this work distance, so we can distance heal.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. And do you use sage with your work? Do you burn the sage?
Yeah.
Do you do it in the corners?
We smudge. And we use lots of other things, but yeah, that's one of the things. Yeah.
Yeah, people forget that we are energy and we leave our imprint.
Yeah.
And so, if someone is, kind of negative and they're living in a place and you move in after them, you're going to feel that.
Absolutely. And people become ill, depressed, withdrawn. They can become argumentative. There's lots of things that can trigger it, and sometimes people go to the doctors and think they're ill and they're not. And if they did just try these alternatives, nature, ancient, this is all ancient stuff, and it's all coming out, and the more people realise that there is something out there that is an alternative solution.
They don't have to suffer in silence at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, ladies. It's been, I could sit and, chat with you for another half hour and talk more about that stuff, but I don't want to be in the way of people coming to your store. Would you like to give me your website so people can look you up and or any information? How can they learn more about what you guys do?
Well, the website for Aubyn is botanicals at myaubyn.co.uk.
Okay, excellent. Well, thanks, guys. It's been fun, and you've been having a good day. You've had lots of people.
Positive, good feedback. Yeah, worth doing.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me, and I wish you all a very good day. And thank you for sharing your story as well. It's nice stuff. I like different things like that.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting that one actually.
Yeah.
But thank you. Okay. Take care.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so they help to distribute the product called Aubyn, and that's spelled ARBONNE. And if you didn't catch the website, it's www.botanicals, botanicals.myaubyn.co.uk. And my next guest was another very fascinating person, and I'm going to keep it very simple and allow her to explain the type of work that she does. And I found another interesting person to speak to this afternoon. Would you like to introduce yourself to me, please?
Hi, I'm Karina Kennedy, and the company I run is Pathway Balancing, and we're based in Peterborough.
Based in Peterborough, so not too bad of a journey for you today. Did you do this event last year?
Yeah, this is the third year I've been here, and it just gets better every year, really. It's really good.
How do you find the people of Peterborough and the way that they come towards this kind of information and the alternative way of seeing and doing things? Do you think Peterborough is opening up, or do you think there's still a low interest?
No, Peterborough's really growing in interest in alternative medicine, complementary therapies, personal development, personal growth. I've been doing this work since 1991, and I'm seeing a huge change in people's awareness. And I think more people are willing to try something different and explore something that might help them to move on in their life, to feel better, to be more prosperous, all the things that we really want. So I think Peterborough's really coming up in that area, definitely, yeah.
I would have to say I agree with you, because I have this conversation with a lot of local artists as well. And in the artistic community, Peterborough is also expanding, and there's a lot more things going on. And we do have to because we can put ourselves into a mindset saying, oh, in this area, these things never happen. But that's not true, is it?
Definitely not. Pathway Balancing, for example, is unique. It's been researched and developed in Peterborough, as have many things. This week I was down in London accepting an award in our industry with one of my students. It was an award from Valentine Insurance, the biggest insurer in the industry, and the Institute for Complementary and Natural Medicine. So this is an award-winning course that's raising its profile in London, based in Peterborough. So it's really showing our city is well and truly on the map of innovation and new growth, and we've got every reason to be proud of what we do here. It's a great place to live and work, definitely.
That's nice and positive. And so explain to the audience here what you do, because you have for those that can't see it, I will take a picture so that they can have a visual, but you have a really nice layout, nice green color, nice purple color, and there's a pathway of stones. Explain what the purpose is of what you're offering here today.
Okay, the main thing that many people today have heard of is kinesiology. That's the use of testing the body through the muscles to find out what strengthens and energizes us and what weakens and depletes us. the unique thing about pathway balancing, which is shown with this lovely green sparkly pathway, is that we all have a path through life, and the aim of my work is to find out areas where you might be stuck in your progress and then apply therapy, energy balancing to help that person move on further up that beautiful pathway, closer to the life of their dreams, closer to fulfilling potential. So it's a health journey, but it's also about personal development, and that the little display there just shows an example of how we can move on in life if we get the right help and support.
So we can block ourselves in certain parts of our bodies. Is that kind of the principle behind kinesiology? Maybe explain that a little bit further.
Yeah, we do block ourselves. Life throws things at us, whether it's diet, eating things on the rush, or stress at work where we're trying to achieve deadlines, work with people we don't get on with. And of course we often get wounded in relationships, whether it's when we were little or as adults. All those things leave their mark and can leave us feeling tired and low and not sure how to move forward, how to get well. So I think what I aim to do is identify what is the thing that's holding a person back. Why can't they sleep? Why have they come out in a rash? It could be any sort of symptom. And then applying something that will release that to heal that wound and give the person the tools and the control and the self-awareness to go out and live life differently and respond differently. And then life changes and gets better. So it's a real journey of healing those things that are either within us or around us, really, that may be holding us back and depleting us, and getting something better in place, really.
Excellent stuff. And do you find a lot of people coming to you, obviously in your own practice, coming to you, finding you from all different types of walks of life?
Yeah, I guess most people would be over 30. They're people that have probably a full lifestyle, but they're seeking something different. Very often people have symptoms that are being helped medically to some extent, but they need something else to help them. So I get a wide variety of people that come from different backgrounds and have different needs. And whatever they come with, it's something that we can help them with, because there's such a wealth of tools to help them with through pathway balancing kinesiology. So yeah, it's quite a wide range. Even children, and even little babies sometimes when they're colicky and crying. So it really is the full spectrum, whether they're 8 months or 88. It's something for everybody, really. Yeah.
There is quite a move going on at the moment, just in general in terms of the alternative community. Many people are really starting to pick up on this idea that the mind affects the body. They're really starting to understand how that can inhibit the body in certain areas, life and things like that. What is your view on the medical profession, and how can we find a way to integrate maybe Western medicine with this now alternative medicine that is actually really growing? I think lots of people are kind of coming more to people like yourself and other people that are at this event today because they feel let down by the medical profession. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I think the medical profession is absolutely wonderful. I couldn't do what they do, and we need both. So my understanding is that the things that can be detected medically now couldn't be detected maybe 20 years ago. So really we just have the tools now to do MRI scans, X-rays, all sorts of things that were impossible and unimaginable medically a few years ago. Where I see complementary therapy taking the place is that we can do things that can't yet be measured with the instrument. They're still there, it's still effective, so there's really no separation. It's just that medical practitioners have tools to discover things that we don't, and vice versa. The other thing I think is important is my colleagues who work in the National Health, whether it's nursing or doctors, they don't have time to spend with their patients. They go into that work because they want to help people to get healthier, and they find it very difficult because there's just so many people that need help. In the alternative field, we have the luxury of more time with our clients, but then they have to pay for that. So the NHS is free to the end user, so they are heavily subscribed, whereas we are attracting fee-paying clients, but we have time for them. So I just think the whole thing together working together is just the ideal situation. None of us have all the answers, and a mixture of both kinds of therapy is the ideal, I would say.
And do you think that alternative therapies will become more accessible in future on the NHS? Do you see that kind of movement progressing forward?
Personally, I don't. I see the future of healthcare in the United Kingdom becoming increasingly privatised, if anything. So I think more people will choose to pay the practitioner, or they will use healthcare insurance. More healthcare insurers are now allowing their clients to use alternative therapies. So I personally think the NHS will continue to fulfil a vital role in emergency care, maternity care, care of the elderly, but I think there's an increasing demand for private health care, whether individually funded or through insurance, and I think that's where the growth will come. I think complementary therapies will develop more outside of the NHS than within it, personally.
Excellent. I agree with that, I have to say. Right, so before we wrap up this interview, I'd like for you to give us your website, if you have a website address.
Yeah, it's, as all of them are, www.pathwaybalancing.co.uk.
Excellent. And how's your day been? Have you had lots of people inquiring, coming through the door and having a look?
It's been really good today, yeah. It was nice and quiet in the morning, so I could get to know all my neighbours around here and we could share what we're all doing. But as you can see, this is the first break I've had. It's been absolutely brilliant, so I'm looking forward to a great afternoon and an even better day Sunday, because Sundays are usually even busier than Saturday. But yeah, it's been really, really good. The organisation's been superb as always. It's been brilliant, yeah.
Well, you've been wonderful. She's brilliant, guys, and nice and smiling. The kind of person that you would like to go to if you're not feeling well. Thank you for taking some time to speak with me today, and I hope you do have a great day and a great weekend.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Bye.
So that was Karina Kennedy, and her website, just to recap, was pathwaybalancing.co.uk. Right, so I've found a very, an intriguing little stall where you can fight back pain and compression and fatigue with hanging upside down. And I'm here with, is it Debbie Buck? Yeah?
That's right, yes, Debbie Buck.
So, tell me about this business that you have. It's you've got obviously you've got your chair, and you're showing pictures of what this hanging upside down can do for you. But how did you get into something like this?
Well, I've been a therapist for quite some time. I generally work with soft tissue, muscle release therapies. But my husband and I were at a festival earlier this year, and we saw these teeter inversion tables, so we decided to have a go, and we both really, really liked it. So it got me thinking, I wonder, could I incorporate this into the business that I already have? And we bought one, brought it home, and we were playing on it at home for a couple of weeks, and I discovered that a long-standing knee problem I had just cleared up, so I thought this is great. So now I've gone into, I'm working alongside the importers for the teeter tables. I'm going to have 3 in my premises in March. I'm having an electric one and this manual one that you see here, and another one, and I will be selling them as well as offering treatments.
Now, I'm curious to know, what is the difference between the electric one? Does it hum and things like that?
No, the electric one is, firstly, it's a little more comfortable for people who maybe are older or perhaps are a little better built, but it's completely controllable, so you can control the angle really easily. You can control oscillation if you wanted to move it back and forth, and it gives a greater feeling of security for somebody who may not be terribly confident with hanging upside down.
And what are the benefits of hanging upside down? Obviously, you have an ad there saying it helps back pain and things like that, but what are, just down to earth, what are the benefits of trying to do a therapy like this?
Okay, well, here's the thing for you. Apparently the sloth and the bat are the only vertebrates who don't suffer from osteoarthritis at any time, and you have to guess that's because they spend a lot of time hanging upside down. During the day and indeed during our lives, gravity will compress the spine. Compressing the vertebrae in the spine also compresses the discs that cushion those vertebrae. When you hang upside down, or indeed at an angle, which is beyond horizontal, when you hang like that, it allows the vertebrae to stretch out, and so the cushioning, the discs are able to plump themselves up, rehydrate, and really brings back some vitality back into those discs. It gives them a break from the everyday crushing and grinding of what gravity's doing to them.
And what kind of clients do you get? Do you get people of all ages coming to you?
Yes, it's wonderful for sports people. A lot of sports people actually like to use these, to do their exercises upside down, so because that gives an even greater traction, so it can really tone those abs. But it's wonderful for anybody who has joint pain or perhaps even muscle pain. Really, it just allows people to be able to relax and gently be stretched back out. It's quite relaxing as well, surprisingly as that might sound.
No, I could see how it's relaxing because you don't have to do very much. All you do is just hang upside down, don't you? What about things like migraines or people who have serious migraines or maybe like pains around the head? Is this good like for those kinds of conditions as well?
Well, there's a possibility. I mean, I'm a complementary therapist, so I don't generally treat conditions. There are some things which obviously people need to refer to their doctors. That said, migraines can often be caused by compression of the spine, particularly of the lower spinal areas. They can also be caused by tension and problems in the neck. All of those things can be worked on using this inversion therapy, so yes, it's quite possible that would help.
Okay, well, it's been fantastic to speak to you today. And do you have a website that people can go to?
Yes, indeed. My website is www.dktherapy.co.uk.
Excellent stuff. Thank you very much for taking time to speak to me today. And how has it been for you today? Have you had lots of interest, lots of people coming and hanging out and hanging upside down?
Yes, I think Saturday morning is traditionally the quieter part of this weekend. But yes, there's been a lot of interest. I mean, it looks like fun, and people have been coming along and looking and wanting to have a go. Plenty of people say they're going to come back later, perhaps once the food's settled down. So yes, it's been good.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, and I wish you all the best. Right, so that was Debbie Buck, and the name of the company is DK Therapy. And if you didn't catch all of that, basically she has an inversion table. So it's this funny-looking piece of equipment, and they strap you in and they turn you upside down. And supposedly it's actually quite good for back pain, people who suffer with sciatica issues, leg pain. Anything, any kind of ailments that you might have in your body. So if that's something that you might be interested in, please do check her out.
You're listening to Peterborough FM on 87.7 and online at www.peterborough.fm. One station, many communities.
So you are listening to a special edition of Esoteric Discussions, and I was covering the Mind, Body and Soul event here in the Peterborough area over the weekend at the Showground, and I collected a random number of interviews with different people that were attending the event as vendors, and I had a great time talking to everybody, and I really did appreciate everyone giving their time to me so freely. The next person that I found runs a company called B2skinlabs.com, and I have to say, this young woman is she's going to get your brain going, because wow, what she is doing is fascinating. And it just goes to show you that we don't have to live in misery with the economy breaking down. When you get people together who have passion and have a vision, hey, the sky's the limit.
Hi, my name is Deborah Scott. I'm the owner of B2 Skin Labs, which is a skincare company. I'm a Buddhist student of the Hanmi Esoteric School, which is in Malden, and created this skincare company 2 years ago with using beehive extracts. We have 5 apiary sites across Essex and Ipswich, and we have 2 gardens where we grow all the extracts, plant the seeds. So everything is organic that we create. So we plant the seeds, we grow the plants, we tend to the bees, We harvest season-specific types of honey and beeswax, and from the very essence of B2, we create the extract. But everything that we're doing is pure and clean and organic.
Now, I have to ask this because I had a look round at your stall and I was quite impressed. That's why I had to come back and speak to you. And is that your partner there as well? Yes. First of all, we have to backtrack slightly because so we can just give some background information, because basically you do products that you have created yourself.
Yes.
And as you say, it's made from beeswax. And so you harvest the bees. Is
Yes.
that correct? How did you get into that?
Goodness me, I'm a BA Honours in ecology, and I also have a degree in product design. And I've been sitting around bees since I was a child. I grew up in London, and I remember being on building sites surrounded by plants, buddleia, wild plants, ones that we treat as weeds, that were covered in bees as a young child. And I've always had an affinity with bees, and I've grown up with beekeeping through the family, and one of our head beekeepers, who's 70 years old, I've known him for many years. But there's always been, I think, creating something like this, there has to be an inherent passion from childhood to create something so unique. So yeah, that's kind of like, my passion for ecology, and I was a park ranger, and I got to really converse with nature and be part of nature, but also striving for a real purity and cleanness. 2 years ago, myself and some spa owner and some therapists all came together because we were really disheartened at the range of skincare that was out there. You as a consumer, if you walked into Tesco's and you bought organic bread, you would expect that organic bread to be all organic.
Well, we are expecting these things to be pure, and this has been the dilemma, hasn't it? Because obviously they're just using packaging and deceiving us all and taking our money.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the skincare industry, that does not apply. When I did my dissertation for my degree, I did it on consumer behaviour in the ethical products, and found that as consumers, we, and particularly in skincare products, when we look at the product on the front and it says organic ingredients, sometimes you can turn the packaging around and find that the organic ingredients only equate to 58% or 60% or 70%, yet you're being charged a very high amount of money for that product. We at B2 believe that's wrong. We stand for purity and cleanness that's uncompromising. If you go on our website, we don't compromise. We don't compromise on our ingredients, and we don't charge you the earth for the product. And how do we do that? Sometimes I say we're the innocent smoothie of skincare. Innocent created a whole idea of growing and managing products, and are truly amazing, and that's where we took our inspiration from, in that if they can work with farmers to grow and manage the ingredients for their products, that you as a consumer know you're getting a good product, why can't we? And that's exactly what we did. But then we went one step further to creating a range of treatments in the industry that weren't just about applying a beauty product to the skin, but actually working on the whole self. So really unique. We have a training academy, so we're training therapists in a new way of actually giving these therapies to people.
All right, so I have to interrupt you there, and more information is coming out as we speak. So you cultivate the product yourself.
Yes.
And you have a farm with land.
We have 2 gardens. We have gardens in Salcott and we have gardens in Tulsa Knights. We do tours on occasion. We try and kind of get everybody together so they can actually see so they can have assurance, so they know, they can see the plants that are being grown. They can see the seeds, the plants to the extract. We're innovators in our field in the extracts that we create. We don't buy extracts from other companies or our ingredients, we make the ingredients ourselves. So our extracts are, just completely unique to us. And you won't find blends or complexes like that. And we have labs, scientists that work with us. We have a unit. So everything that's grown by seed to plant comes out, is extracted, and is potted. And that means you're getting something really fresh with lots of vitamins and antioxidants. And more and more people are coming to us because they can feel the difference in their skin.
Wow, I think it's quite amazing what you're sharing with us, because you said you started this. Did you start this 2 years ago? So it's from your own idea.
Yes. 2 years ago, I created a range of recipes with a spa owner to create also the facials, the holistic facials. Everything we do, I am a Buddhist student. I became a Buddhist student 2 years ago. I've done lots of different therapies. We do a lot of Chinese herbalism is in our product, and something that consumers will hear more about is called Ayurvedic. Ayurvedic is the word Ayurvedic is working with nature in essence, and everything we do is working with nature. So our therapies are, as I say, based on the whole self, and the product as well is based on, just using extracts like lemon verbena, which is a natural antidepressant. When you smell it, it's uplifting. So we use that in our products because it will give you that uplifting experience. Not everybody gets that, but some people do. And smell and texture is very important to us. So the whole 2 years ago, we came together. We wanted purity, absolute purity, clean products without compromise. I didn't start by looking at the pennies. I started by looking at the base ingredients. You won't find we are the only company in the world to make a honey oil for the face. And the ingredients in that, honeys are season specific to us. When we harvest our honey, it's not that the honey is going to retailers and then we're having the rest. The beekeeping, the honey, the wax that we're producing for our bees is what you could call the first cut. We're producing that honey specifically for our products, not buying it from other companies to use in the product. So it's a real kind of like outside of the box look. And in the Pro Oil, you won't find sweet almond oil in there or castor oil as a base. You'll find luscious oils like chia seed, argan oil, evening primrose. So you're getting that glow. And for £18.50 for something that would last you 6 months is pennies that will give you your skin that glow and that life back.
I mean, people do say that honey has great benefits for the skin. Do you want to just give us a quick rundown as to some of the benefits that this natural product can do for you?
Yeah. I do a lot of writing, a lot of blogs on the website. A couple of months ago I wrote an article saying we all know honey is good for us. Why spread it on your toast? Spread it on your skin. There's local honey is absolutely best. We are members of the British Beekeepers Association. We support our local beekeepers as well. It's really, really, really important to buy local honey. Supermarkets probably not going to like me for saying this. Local is best because the bees are foraging on the local plants, and that's what is good for you. Good because it's full of antibacterial, antiviral, antioxidant. It's a natural source of sugar that the body can break down very, very easily. Put that in your skincare products and you have something that doesn't clog the skin, that if most people have skin sensitivity, if you use it, it will help spots, it will help balance the skin, and it being antibacterial and antiviral. There's very, very recent research with the NHS are using honey pads post and pre-op to actually help heal the skin. And honey is going to be absolutely massive. The benefits of honey and beeswax, and everything that we're doing with the bees is bee friendly. We don't use chemicals. Our bee production is very, very gentle. We use minimal smoking and very organic methods.
I was burning to ask you this question. I wanted to ask you about the bee population and your own personal experience and opinion, because obviously there's being a lot said that the bees are dying or hibernating or whatever that might be. What's been your experience? What have you seen?
We've lost a lot of farming land with the boundaries that farmers had an extension so they could plant. A lot of those boundaries have gone. Bees don't have the amount of foraging that they used to. We need, this is something we're hoping to put on our website, is actually a page encouraging the public to put bee-friendly plants in. You can go to your local garden centre. I know in Essex there's a few there that have special badges on the plants that are encouraging people to buy those plants because they're bee-friendly. Bee populations are dwindling, but on the upside, interest in beekeeping is increasing.
That's what they call living in your passion. And when you live in your passion, then the doors open, don't they?
Yeah, and passion is such an important thing. I'm very fortunate in that I have such a supportive husband and supportive people around me who, you know, when I've thought about giving up, has said no, don't give up. And you know, I'm very, very lucky to have had that. But if you're lacking inspiration, if you'd like to try a new direction, go on our website, fill out the contact form. You know, this could be an opportunity of change. There's a lot of change going on in the world out there, and there's a real presence for it. We have a Facebook page. We write down all the events. There's an event coming up in Marks Tay in Essex with a company called Life Arts. I'm doing a talk there at 3:30. With also, I do guided meditation, which is some of the treatments that some of our therapists are training and some of our therapists also do. So even if you haven't meditated before, come along. What have you got to lose? Meditation is really key for anti-aging because you relax, and that is the key. Relax, lots of water, loads of vegetables. I'm always telling people that, but it's important. And you can come along and find out about the Buddhist centre that I'm at, or you can go on to wisdom36.com and you can find your local centre. Go down there, the Buddhists are really lovely, and you can sit there for free healing or join in a meditation and learn something new.
Wow. I want to wish you all the best, and thank you for giving me so much of your time today. It's quite busy in here, so I won't hold you up any longer. But good luck with everything, and keep up with the talking. You're very good at speaking and getting the word out, and I think that's very important. So I'd like to thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Shelley. It's been lovely to talk to you today.
Okay, excellent.
Right, so that was Deborah from b2skinlabs.com, and amazing woman doing some fantastic things for the environment and also for our own health. But we are moving very swiftly because time is becoming our enemy, and I want to get these last two interviews in. This next one was a young lady that I bumped into who was a reader, and she had a fantastic look, so I just had to speak to her. So here's our chat that we had.
Right, so I've been moving around the Mind, Body and Soul event today here at the showground, and I came across this young lady because there was something very intriguing about her as I approached, and she's got a very, it's just an amazing sort of look. She's got a nice little headdress thing going on, and
I picked up a really strong energy of a Native American Indian, and that's how we got to talking. But anyway, let me introduce her. Please say your name.
Lady Rebekah Kiliana Marlin.
Ah, very nice. Yes, so, I met you earlier today, and I was like, oh, yes, hello. You had a very striking aura, and then I realized that what you do is you're a reader. Is that right? So explain to us how you got to where you are today, if you can. Well, briefly, anyway.
Yes. Well, basically, mediumship and readings run in the family. Started with my mum, then my dad. I became interested, I've been interested since I was a teenager, but I became actively interested in actually doing readings in 2007. Decided to start pursuing it as more than a hobby, and started reading for friends and people on social networking sites. And basically did that up until this year, where I decided to make a go of it as a business and have set up professionally. And this Mind, Body, Soul event is my first real big event. So yes, I'm quite excited to be here. Yeah.
And how's the public been? Have you enjoyed meeting people? Because sometimes I think it's not for everybody, I suppose. It can be intimidating. But how have you found your experience, as this is one of your first events?
Exciting. I've been very nervous, not so much with the connecting with people, but just because I don't know what to expect. But it's been great. It's been lovely. People have been very inviting and warm and friendly and open. So yeah, brilliant.
And what do you use? Do you use anything, or do you just literally go by just what you're feeling intuitively and that type of thing?
It varies. I do use cards and other tools to tune in and pick up messages, but I can pick up without tools as well, so it's a choice really, either for effect or for whatever makes the client feel comfortable. Just basically it gets tailored to the individual as to what comes in and how I use it.
Excellent stuff. How do you handle people who go, oh, I don't believe in any of that kind of stuff? How do you handle that?
Not very well. It depends really. I mean, normally if I get people being very negative, then I just ignore them, or just ask them to leave me alone, go away. You can't engage with people like that. And if I get somebody wanting a reading just to try and prove something, I will give them what I get, but I find, unfortunately, because I'm very empathic, if I find the energy too forceful, it can be quite upsetting for me, but I deal with it the best I can. I try to be as polite as I can, and I will just try and disengage as quickly as I can, really, so that's the way I handle it.
Now, when I first came to your store, you were standing and you had a large stick. Okay, so tell me what that represents.
Well, to be honest, I initially bought it because, or had it made, just because it seemed like a really cool idea at the time. But as I got these symbols and stuff together, I realised it was to represent feminine energy, to bring that in, because I've had difficulty connecting with that side of myself, being too much in my masculine energy. So it was to help me connect my energy on the female side more, and to bring in that energy into my readings, into the work I did.
Yet, or are you working on that?
Yes, I have two websites. The first one is for my artwork. I do psychic and spiritual artwork and paintings. I draw people's spirit guides, angels, higher selves, totems. I also do paintings of abstract hearts, which is channeling somebody's essence and then putting it into an art form, in this case hearts. The first website is www.resonanceart.co.uk. My second one is about soul dynamics and how we interact on a soul level, and relationship dynamics in the human world. And I also focus on twin soul dynamics as well. And that website I do my readings through, and it's www.resonanceSouls.com.
Lots of people are getting into the concept of twin souls at the moment. They're really feeling that they've met them. And what's your opinion? I mean, do you really believe that they exist, or are they actually more like soulmates?
Soulmates are more people that we have different lessons, karmic lessons and challenges, stories that we live. Twin souls is kind of like the ultimate form of connection. Now, not everybody has a twin soul. This is only a specific group of people. Most people have one soul, that's it, you just have one soul per body. Twin souls are split into two, so it's the best way of describing it, or one soul projected through two bodies, male and female, or it can be two men, two women, so the sexuality doesn't come into it, it's just one holds the masculine, one holds the feminine. And there's also poly souls as well, which same principle, so it'd be one soul through many forms. In my case, I've had a hard time accepting it. It's not that I don't want to believe, because I experienced it myself. I've had the experiences. I can remember things from previous lives with my twin soul. I know who he is. I know that it's true, but there's a difference between knowing and believing it. And I'm still having a hard time accepting it mentally. So, yes, I know it's true, but I'm still struggling with the belief of it. So, adapting to that at the moment because of what everything it entails and everything it means that brings with it.
Yeah, there are lots of people really getting into that and really feeling that they want to connect. And I guess that maybe supposedly has something to do with the times that we're in right now. But I wanted to ask you about your psychic drawing, because you said that you do the artwork. When you see someone's guide or whatever, is it energy? Do you see like visual faces? What do you see?
It's an impression. I feel things because I'm empathic. It's like I get the feeling and then I get it. An image forms in my mind. The definition varies depending on the person and what it is that I'm picking up. And it's not always easy for me to convey it from what I'm seeing and feeling onto paper. But I do my best with how I draw. I tend to be more sort of cartoon illustration style and paintings. But yes, I just see an impression and it forms in my mind, and then I put what I see onto paper.
Can you see any of my guys?
I'm seeing like a large angel actually behind you. I'm seeing it, and it's like there's like a rainbow effect, I feel, and it's a very feminine aspect, I feel, just very white and it's showing itself like lights, but with very, like the wings and stuff. Although they don't actually have wings, they like to show that because that's what we're used to mentally. But it doesn't have. It's not very defined. It's like just a very sort of, but it's stood behind you, but like coming from you at the same time. It's a very beautiful aura, I feel. You've got a very strong presence about you, but yours comes across like it's almost like you're wafting, your energy wafts. That's the best way that I can put it.
I think that's a good description.
So I just feel very beautiful, and I feel that you're bringing the message for us, for a lot of us out here who are doing this to the general public, and that's important work for you. So your angels are guiding you with this.
Well, one can only try, and like for you, as you were saying, this is your sort of getting your feet wet, and and obviously you're doing well. There's people here, so I don't want to detain you much longer, but thank you so much for speaking with me today, and good luck with everything, and I'm sure you're going to fly and excel, and thank you for speaking with me this afternoon.
Thank you very much. It's been absolutely amazing talking to you. Wonderful, thanks.
And that's Lady Rebekah, so check out her website. Right, so I hope you enjoyed that. And we're about to start to wrap up the show, and I'm going to present to you my last guest that I spoke to, and her name is Wilma. And we had a nice discussion about colour, and I really enjoyed her talk as well. So I'm going to leave you on a note about colour. She's going to explain a few things that maybe you haven't even heard of before. I mean, different ideas about how colour has been used in the past. But fascinating topic, and please also do check out her work, and she does give individual readings as well to help you bring colour into your life. Right, so my next guest with me is it Wilma? Wilma Siston, yes. Okay, so I was in your talk, and I found all of that interesting and fascinating. Just briefly, so that the audience knows, what is your speciality?
I specialize in colour. I work with colour a lot, with therapy, just bringing colour into one's life every day. That's important.
Lovely stuff. Now, because I was a bit late coming into the talk, that you were giving some background history about stained glass windows in churches. Can you just briefly just kind of recap on what you were saying about that?
Okay. Stained glass windows were there in the churches long ago, just not purely for artistic whatever, not to look at them artistically, but they were there for a reason, because as the light shone through the windows, the color would go onto the audience at the bottom, shine onto them, and that would actually help them to heal and to feel better about themselves and to move forward instead of just not really reaching their full potential.
So basically what you're saying, which goes against what we're taught, is that back in those days they knew the power of colour, obviously.
Yes, definitely. Even going back to Egyptian times, there was a huge amount of colour, because in some of the Egyptian pyramids they found holes in the roof, and at a certain time of the day the whole room at the bottom would be a complete different colour because of the reflection of the light and the refraction, so it would be red, or they'd have another one that's orange sometimes, and they used to put people in there to heal. When they had headaches or stomachache or whatever was wrong with them, they did that. And we know from Egypt that they had a lot of scientific knowledge, and they were doing things that we don't even know today how to do. So they were definitely above what we researching and what we're knowing today. Yeah, they were using color properly.
Yeah, those are really excellent points, because obviously they like to go on about the pyramids being these burial chambers, and even that's quite dark, isn't it? And what you're saying is something completely different.
Yeah, because they found out without realizing what it was all about. And then when they told people what was going on with these rooms in all the different colors, only at certain times of the day, and it's not every day either. But it's quite amazing how they actually scientifically worked it out so that the sun would be there, and then use those. Good.
Yeah, it is fascinating, and there obviously, as we know, there's been a cover-up of information. And one of the other things you were talking about in your talk, which is also a cover-up of how we work as human beings, you were saying about the thoughts and how that can affect us. Do you want to say a few more words? Because it was very interesting what you were saying in your talk.
If I think I cannot do something, that's how it's going to be. If I think I can do something, Picasso said, everybody, if they decide they can be a painter, they can. If they've decided that they can. So it depends on how you think. If you have positive thoughts, your whole life's going to be in that way. But you have negative thoughts, I'm getting old, I can't do this anymore, you're going to start getting old immediately. You need to change your thoughts if you want to feel good about yourself and live longer and be happy and live much at a younger age, without getting old too quickly.
I was wondering, when I was listening to you talk, have you ever come across this person called Dr. Harmer? He was a German medical doctor, and he basically came up with a theory because he had tested it with several hundreds and maybe thousands of case studies of his own, and he made a correlation between thoughts and getting ill, like getting cancer and things like that. And because you were picking up on things like that, you gave an example about your dad, how he had the triple bypass.
He had a triple bypass, but it was purely because of stress. Physically, there was nothing wrong. There was no, he wasn't that old, he didn't have any cholesterol, he didn't have any history of heart problems, but purely because of stress. And it was just before retirement, and there was a lot of, are you going to retire now? So his stress actually caused him to have a heart attack. There are a lot of other things as well. For example, we decided to make a friend drunk one evening just by telling her she's drunk, and she eventually started believing, and she became quite drunk without any alcohol, just because that's the way you think. So we can change how we feel and are by the way we think.
Yeah, absolutely, and there is a lot of research being done nowadays. Dr. Bruce Lipton has talked about, the power of the mind and the biology of belief, and got Greg Braden saying very similar things. They're both scientists. So this isn't foo-foo things, is it? It's real.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of those things have been said, but people don't always realize them. What I do in my talk, for example, is just make people more aware of them. It's not something new that I'm saying, it's there, but when people are aware of it and you can share it with others, that's quite important, so other people know about a lot of things as well. I think it's quite important to share things like that with people.
Yes, I agree. Now I wanted to ask, how does then the colour work with how we're feeling and how that then guides our thoughts? I mean, you were giving an example about if you have surgery, for example, sometimes the body is lacking in orange, and so you might want orange. How does color relate to all of this?
We have all the colors of the rainbow in our body. We need to absorb those because the cells in the body actually they vibrate at the same color as frequency as the colors. So we need to absorb that into the body. Now, if there's something wrong in the body, for example, anesthetic will take the orange will actually leave the body. It comes back afterwards. But with all the chemicals and whatever they do to put you into that state, that goes out of the body. So you need to get that back. And if you're eating extra orange or you have more orange around you, that will help you to function. Your cells need all the color to function properly in every different part of your body, so that your body, every organ needs to function. If your kidneys stop functioning, you're in trouble. If your liver stops functioning. So in order for you to be able to do that, you need to have some color, every color of the rainbow, somewhere around you. And that's, because if you hold stress in that place, it's also not working. So if everybody can have a bit of color of the rainbow, they're going to feel so much better overall. The whole well-being is going to be far, far superior to what it is when we're just not bothered.
It's amazing stuff, and they just don't teach us this, in school. I mean, yes, we learn about colors, but we're not really taught how it could, the colors within us, are we?
No, because it's not something people think about. It's automatic. Some people use a lot of color in their lives. Some people don't. Some people have phobias about colors because if I've seen that, it's going to do that. But the color can't affect you in a negative way ever, really. It will only be good for you unless you've decided that you just don't like that. It's perception. And then it could become a phobia, or we just forget about it. It's not something that we talk about all the time. And again, it's because of the churches, they just depressed how color was being used, and unfortunately that's the way that it went. So people stopped using color, but we're starting to resuscitate and revive that again and be aware of it a lot more.
Yes, well, we can go into the church and how how it really has put a mind control over people's minds, and it gets us afraid to think about things outside of what they want us to think about. But everything that, like what you were talking about today in your talk, it's all natural, obviously. It's the old way, isn't it? And they weren't afraid of color. And do you find that people are afraid to be colorful or express themselves in that way?
Yes, but quite often it's society and the way they've been brought up. You can't wear bright color because people will laugh at you, or what they're going to think if you wear that, or because somebody else doesn't like a particular color. And I don't think it should be like that. We should be free to be who we are, really. And if we want to wear color, if you don't want to wear color, then that's okay too. But we set ourselves standards by society, and then we don't live up to who we really are. We need to just be who we are, and color can actually help you do that. So what if somebody doesn't like my red jacket? Doesn't matter. If I like it and I'm happy in it, that's good.
Now, I have a question for you. My husband, a few months ago now, decided he wanted to paint the bedroom turquoise. Actually, it's been beneficial because I don't always sleep very well. What do you think is the basis behind someone wanting a vibrant color like that?
Turquoise specifically is about being creative. So maybe he needs to really do creative things. And maybe that is sort of to help him to realize, well, first of all, painting, that is creative. But when you use turquoise a lot, it's about being creative and doing something that you really want to do that's inside you. We're all creative beings. Every single one of us is creative. And again, society, schools, parents, friends stop us from being creative a lot of the time. But if we can just be who we really are. If I want to do some painting that's strange, like Picasso's, they didn't like his paintings, but it's amazing stuff. So we all have to do something creative, and it sounds a bit like it's creativity that needs to be brought out there.
Well, you actually hit the nail on the head because he's an artist.
Oh, good.
And he actually needs to paint more. He's a musician as well, so he spends his time right now doing music, but he can paint as well. And I think maybe he needs to get the little paintbrush out, do you think?
Tell him from me, yes, definitely. Go wild, big canvas or whatever it is else he wants to paint, yeah? Definitely.
Oh, it's just fascinating. I love stuff like this, and I really enjoyed listening to your talk today. It was short, but I guess it was an hour, but it went so quickly.
On the website, I tell people about color as well, and they can contact me whenever they want, if they have anything to ask or etc., etc. And learning about color is really
important. People are interested, go for it. Don't just leave it alone. The rainbow's there. It's set out as both, so is the sun. We cannot live without that. So we all need colour. And at the minute, as soon as we start realising that, the world's going to be less boring, I think.
Oh, well, thank you so much for taking some time to speak to me this afternoon.
I wish you a colourful day. Thank you very much, and thank you.
Right, guys, so thanks for listening. That's a wrap for the show tonight. I want to thank all of the vendors that I did speak to at the Mind, Body and Soul event. But, you know, we got to talking and we spoke too much, I think. But I'm going to end the show. And as I always say, keep your eyes on the stars.